We've got to ask about Jamal Brown a couple times. Just curious what his status is.
He was cleared. He'll be ready to go.
What about Artis Hicks? What's going on with him?
Same thing. He was limited today. He's got thigh, groin trauma.
Would Will go in his place?
Yes.
What about your running backs?
Ryan Terrain will be out. Looks like Clinton will be ready to go.
Do you expect any rust from him not having been out, or does he look pretty good enough, got enough action here that he should be all right?
Feeling pretty good. If we don't feel good about him, we wouldn't play him. Should be able to go.
What's your expectation then for Clinton Portis to look like he hadn't missed any time?
I'm hoping that's the case, yeah.
But you'll get normal workload, everything will be.
Well, I'm not going to go into detail what workload we'll give him, but he's going to play the game.
I don't mean like number of touches. It's just he's going to play in the offense just like he would have before the injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're hoping that's the case, yeah.
Mike, will you have to make you've been a little risky in having two backs active a couple of times.
Yeah.
Given the health of everybody, do you have to consider that pretty hardly and maybe have three guys up?
Yeah, you really do. You got to take that into consideration. Anytime you go with two guys, you feel both guys are very healthy, and you still have to have a plan like we did with DY last week. So you got to have a third guy, or you got to have an alternate package with 4 or 5 wide receivers, and the ability to go a lot of different directions. One thing that's great about offense is you can dictate what direction you're going to go. The problem with defense is you can't. You're not really sure what the opponents are going to do.
How did you think Clinton was playing when he went down? He was running pretty effectively on that field game.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. He was getting back to, he was feeling pretty good, and then he sent himself back a little bit, and right now I feel pretty good. He's had a good couple of days of practice, and hopefully there's no setback.
Has he had an MRI since the first one, just to get a look at that area again, or is that not really how it works? I'm
not sure when his last MRI was, to be honest with you. But when he came back to practice, we know it would take a couple weeks to kind of get back in the flow of things, and feel pretty good.
When did you decide that he was good to go?
Today,
okay,
for sure. Yesterday it looked good too, so I was hoping there was no setback. There wasn't, so all indications he'll go unless there's a setback tomorrow.
Is cutting the biggest thing for a groin? I mean, he's got to be able to move laterally and be explosive in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you have a groin injury, everything you do relative to running is involved. So, he's had a number of weeks to get back in the football shape. He's had a couple weeks to obviously practice, and hopefully there's no setback tomorrow.
Could Terrain be back next week, or do you think he needs another week or two actually?
You really don't know. I thought he was going to be back this week. Like I said last week, we had 3 good days of practice. I mean, he practiced Thursday, Friday, Saturday, full speed. There was no setback, and all of a sudden, right before the game, he sent himself back. So I was really kind of surprised. I thought it was just a mild tweak, and he'd be ready to go this week. So it's a little bit.
Carlos, are you ruling Carlos out?
No, well, Laurent and Carlos got a little bit of practice today. They were limited. We're going to test them tomorrow before we go, see how they do. And if I feel good, well, then there's a chance. I got to get a chance to watch them, though. Going a little bit harder tomorrow. It was a good sign, though. They got some practice in, so that was positive.
Anybody else?
I think I covered most of our team. Did I miss anybody?
No setbacks with Brandon.
What's that?
How are you doing?
I'm healthy, but nobody really cares. I don't have to play.
No setback with Banks?
No setback. He'll be ready to go. Okay?
What's the biggest thing, when you get Clinton back, what's the biggest thing you're adding to the offense when he's back out on the field?
Well, you've got a guy with a lot of experience. We know what type of blocker he is. And if he can come back full speed, he adds a lot to our offense. He's got a lot of confidence. He knows the system, knows defenses, and got a little bit of a swagger to him that you always like on the football field.
Are there times in protection that he can make plays that maybe others, Keelan's a young guy, and maybe things because of his how much he's been around, that he can do things, maybe pick things up that young guys just aren't in a position to do?
No, there's no question about that. I mean, that goes without saying. He's got a lot of experience back there, and more importantly, he enjoys doing it. Not only does he recognize defenses quicker, but once he gets there, he's usually in a bad mood, which is always good.
And Mike, Jim said yesterday that the whole defense has just not come along as fast as he had hoped, and I'm just kind of curious what you have seen from Jim as he kind of tries to push this group forward and through some of these growing pains.
Well, I thought our defense has played a number of games very well. As we talked about right after the game, that was not one of our better games collectively. We just didn't play well. And When you play like that, you give up the the yardage and the points. So hopefully we rebound very quickly, and that's when you find out what type of character you do have. When you play a game like that, how do you come back? Especially when you got a few injuries. Collectively you've got to practice well, and hopefully we can do it on Sunday.
Have you learned anything about Jim just from working with him as he kind of grinds this thing out? I mean, specifically, what you've seen out of the coach?
We're spending 16, 18 hours together for the last six or 7, 8 months. So, no, nothing that he's done really surprises me. He's a worker. I think he's proved what he can do both on and off the football field as an assistant as a head coach. And it's a little road bump. And hopefully we take care of things Sunday.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.